Hey everyone, it's Jeff, and this is the first demo of Apptron. Apptron is a single binary command that exposes native app functionality. Most notably, it can be used to build cross-platform Webview apps. These are apps like Slack and VS Code here that embed a browser rendering engine within a native window. This allows you to build the bulk of your UI using web technologies. Today, we're going to make a celebratory birthday card application, where the birthday card is made with HTML and CSS. Surely it's someone's birthday today. We're going to use Go in this demo, but Apptron is a polyglot building block intended to be used by any language. First, we'll make a typical web server that can serve our HTML to a browser. However, we're going to embed the HTML file to serve, which will include it in our compiled binary. By the way, Go has one of the greatest HTTP packages I've ever used, just built into the standard library. And really quick, here's our HTML file that will be embedded and served. There's a special birthday message in this collapsed H1. Let's go run and see it. This is a pretty boring birthday card. I have another more interesting one with some CSS we can use. This time I'll use go build to produce a binary. This should get their attention. So from here, all we want to do is make this lovely page show up in a native window we control. This is where the magic of Apptron comes in. Apptron runs as a subprocess and exposes an API over standard I/O. You can see we have a thin client library to handle this for us. Apptron run starts Apptron and tells it to initialize a native application and start its event loop. Window new launches a new Webview window. We can configure this window in our code here, but there's also a way to let the HTML configure the native window, which we'll see in a future video. Lastly, we'll run listen and serve asynchronously in a Go routine and then wait for Apptron to finish. And that's it. Building our simple Go program now produces an executable that when started isn't just a command line tool, but a native app using the web page we served as the UI. This is not normally how it is writing apps that use platform APIs. When you write a program, you have control over the flow of your main thread. You can make calls to third-party or standard libraries like we did, but control typically comes back to us. Using native APIs requires an event loop that takes over your main thread, and although you can make a new thread and continue on, most code that interacts with the native APIs must be run in the main thread through the event loop. This makes simple cases suddenly feel much more complex. What's more, when you build a native app, you have to link against the C APIs of the platform. And unless your program is written in C, this dramatically changes how your program is built and distributed. At the very least, this means you need a full C toolchain on top of your language's toolchain. And for some reason, Node.js also requires Python to compile native extensions. Our Go program would be forced to compile using CGo, which loses the speed and easy cross-compilation advantages of the standard Go compiler. As a precompiled binary run as a separate process, Apptron removes all of these restrictions and complications, and this works for any language. Simple programs like the one we wrote can remain simple and compile quickly. Now I'm on a Mac here, but this same program will compile and launch a native window for both Linux and Windows. So like Electron, which popularized native WebView apps, this is a great way to leverage web technologies to build cross-platform desktop apps. Unlike Electron, we can write our local backend in various languages. We don't need Node or NPM. Also, we use the platform's native Blink or WebKit-based WebView to avoid a huge Chromium dependency. And where Electron is a node-specific framework, Apptron is a language-agnostic building block with no dependencies. From here, we have a number of possible next steps. We can use more native APIs from our Go backend, like creating menus, dialogues, or notifications. We can allow our WebView frontend to access those APIs, letting us use JavaScript without needing to involve Node.js or NPM. We can also create and expose custom APIs to our WebView, letting the JavaScript frontend use fast, unsandboxed Go code if needed. We'll explore all of these in future videos, as well as completely different ways to use Apptron. To follow along, subscribe to the channel, and if you will, share this video with a developer friend. You can also go to this URL, which is linked below, to get early access. For now, I want to thank my GitHub sponsors for supporting this work, and thank you for watching.